Every journey has a beginning. But for these machines, the journey starts long before the wheels move. In plans, in sleepless nights, and in calculations no human can get wrong. This is the road of giants. When the city sleeps, the giants move. A turbine bigger than some buildings, threading through midnight streets. One wrong turn, and the skyline changes. But tonight, precision doesn't need daylight. When a load needs 32 wheels just to stand, you know the city's about to hold its breath. Power lines lifted, traffic lights pulled aside. Because when this giant rolls through, the whole grid has to make way. A 200 cubic meter tank on a city street. That's not transport. That's engineering flex. Every turn calculated, every obstacle humbled. When it rolls through like a steel titan, you feel the power of industrial tech. Moving a passenger liner hull isn't transport, it's choreography. 6,200 tons of steel, and the dock is waiting. The task isn't easy, but these crews don't show fear. They lift giants like it's just another day. A retired U-17 submarine now turns into a floating museum, and its final journey is just as epic as its service life. Dragged across rivers and canals, balanced on a custom barge built for extreme loads, this steel giant shows how far modern transport tech can push the limits, even when the cargo is a whole submarine. When a platform this massive needs to move, you don't call a ship, you call a floating giant engineered for impossible loads. 3 towering cranes, a full offshore deck. And yet this transport barge handles it with millimeter precision. Only a few countries even have vessels capable of carrying monsters like this. When a structure packs this many components, you'd expect engineers to tear it down, but not today. This one moves fully assembled. One colossal lift, one slip, and the barge becomes a submarine. But when it lands perfectly on deck, that's not luck. That's engineering at its peak. They didn't just build an arched bridge. They moved it like a sculpture on wheels. Across fields, down trenches, until cranes lifted it over the river in one breathtaking sweep. Some structures are carried. This one was delivered like a masterpiece. A retired spacecraft rolling through the city, like a cosmic celebrity returning home. Crowds on both sides, watching space engineering float past on wheels. Tower cranes usually build themselves, but speed changes the equation. When timelines shrink, a cargo helicopter steps in, turning raw lift power into surgical precision. In heavy construction, airborne engineering is the ultimate shortcut. Some towers reach so high, ground tech just can't finish the job. So the final module takes the aerial route, guided by a helicopter, delivered with sky-level precision. And high above the clouds, a crew is already waiting to lock the network into the future. Before touching the barge, the entire loading platform rotates with millimeter-level control. Tech doing what muscle never could. A reactor column this massive doesn't ship out. It transitions, with engineering leading the way. Next stop, the open sea, where precision keeps giants moving. When a bridge beam this long trails behind a tractor, the challenge isn't weight, it's geometry. Sensors, steering modules, live corrections, all syncing to keep that impossible span in line. Because with loads like this, precision isn't a feature, it's survival. When engineering gets bold, even a full industrial building becomes cargo. Modular frames, hydraulic sync, smart movers, lifting the entire structure without taking it apart. In heavy transport, technology isn't an option. It's the reason the impossible moves. Equipment built to liquefy natural gas isn't just hardware. It's a piece of the energy grid on wheels. Dozens of axles, synced hydraulics, a convoy moving like a mobile lab. One mistake, millions gone. And the moment that exchanger reaches the plant, the whole system wakes up. Out here in the outback, logistics becomes engineering. One truck hauling a massive module across red country, balancing weight, traction, and heat like a moving machine shop. Because in places this remote, technology isn't backup, but it's survival. Out here, the road doesn't decide the limit. The crew does. Massive cylinders dragged through dust and heat, powered by pure determination. This isn't a tractor rushing. It's a force cutting through the highway. Speed stays high because the giant behind it doesn't slow for anyone. A crawler unit and a folding crane on the trailer. Yet the whole convoy moves like it owns the road. Moving a Caterpillar 994 isn't a job. It's an engineering showdown. The load is so extreme that 3 tractors team up to move it. 2 pulling in sync, 1 pushing from behind, all controlled like a single machine through precision hydraulic steering. It takes 2 mega trucks, 1 pulling, 1 pushing, just to move a single transformer. That's how heavy this beast is. When a transformer is this heavy, even the bridge needs a tech upgrade. Engineers roll in with steel beams, turning a collapsing crossing into a reinforced runway for giants. 1 overload avoided, and 1 impossible delivery back on track. When a 250-ton yacht rolls out of a dry dock and casually cruises through the narrow streets of Turkey, you're not just looking at transportation, you're looking at engineering showing off. Hydraulic lifters, multi-axle SPMTs, real-time load balancing, all working together to move a floating mansion like it's nothing. This isn't just a bridge. It's a 200-ton steel giant being remote-controlled through the city like a massive robot. Even moving a drilling rig a few meters is a high-precision operation. Every wheel, every sensor, feeds data back to the control crew. And on the ground, dozens of specialists guide this giant safely toward the ship. Because in heavy engineering, even the short way is never simple. When a tank this huge enters the city, the first warning is simple: close your windows. These tractors don't squeeze through streets. They reshape them. And today, the city isn't slowing them down, it's making way. When a heavy-haul truck misses the turn, it's not just the driver who gets nervous. It's a reminder that even powerful machines need precision. One wrong angle, and the lawn becomes an unintended test field. They don't just move a flat-bottom vessel. They split it, lift it, and drag the impossible through city streets. Every corner fights back. Every inch demands precision. But the tractor keeps pushing forward, because some missions exist just to prove we can do the unimaginable. When a barge gets this massive, the ground itself feels small. 16 twin-wheel platforms line up beneath it, not to carry it, but to challenge gravity. Every push is a test. Every inch is earned. Because moving a giant is never supposed to be easy. Wind turbine blades aren't just long. They're ultra-light and dangerously fragile. So the transport platforms carry more than weight. They balance it with hydraulic systems that keep every meter perfectly aligned. Because when you move the future of clean energy, precision isn't optional, it's the whole mission. A 220-ton crane in a snowstorm. But tech doesn't freeze. Precision hydraulics, smart traction control, all working as the convoy cuts across the rails. Out here, brute force means nothing without the engineering that makes it unstoppable.